wants to identify flaws in themselves. Nobody wants to say, I'm fucked up. It's very hard to be like, I'm fucked up.
To admit that is not the easiest thing. To say I'm the problem is a problem. It's hard. It's hard for me to say I know I'm a problem. And that's very hard. Right.
It's very hard, especially to admit to somebody, but for yourself too, because you're old. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Deep MCs, the podcast that seeks to push meaningful conversation to a whole new level. Whether it's for your entertainment or your personal growth, we appreciate you being here today. And now, on to the show. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, man.
Hey.
We're here.
Yes, we are, for one more round of the Deep MC.
Let's get it, man.
Yeah. What we get into tonight.
So, man, huh?
So today, tonight, today, whatever. Whenever you're listening, that's what time it is. What are we getting into?
Are you ungrateful or appreciative for life?
Ungrateful.
So we're gonna dig into this today on Deep MC.
Deep MCs. Definitely ungrateful. I'm ungrateful. I'm gonna put that out there, and I'm gonna say that right now. I'm ungrateful.
Come on, let's dig.
Right. It seems like we're always fucking digging. We should have fucking popped out the other side of the earth by now.
Been digging for a while.
It's a long ass fucking journey, man. Let me tell you.
It's worth it. Let's go.
I do feel that I am ungrateful. I think first of all, I think a lot of people at some point they're ungrateful for what they have. Right? They're ungrateful for the life that they're given. They're ungrateful for being able to see that next day, even if that next day is you having to fucking go to work and be annoyed by everybody there and hate your fucking job and all this other shit. Right? They're ungrateful for that. But there is someone that didn't get to wake up and didn't get to go that annoying ass job and see them motherfuckers get on your nerves and come home and talk shit about them and, do all that, hell, just the simple act of being alive, is overlooked a lot of times. People wake up, and say, fuck, god damn, I don't want to get up. I'm still tired. I don't got it in me, or whatever the situation may be, and we always talk about it. It's sad, right? That it always takes usually the loss of someone or whatever to give you a moment of realization that time is fleeting, whatever the situation is. But even then, that initial feeling, the strength of that doesn't last. It'll either shrink or change or, play background to whatever else. The motivation is not always consistently there. And I think that, it shouldn't have to come to that. It shouldn't have to get to that point for you to appreciate what you do have, right? They would say, you don't know what you have until it's gone, right? Very much so true, because it's like a shock to the system that you lost whatever it may be. And I don't know. I just think that people get caught up in, the everyday, the frustrations, the negativity. It's always easier to focus on the negative than the positive of what you do have and what you are living through, and they just become ungrateful. I know for me, I told you before, even when I was living in Hawaii, I didn't appreciate what I had.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I was ungrateful. I was just mad. I want to get my check. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate that I was able to do that. I didn't appreciate that I was able to live that experience. Even, you know, to this day, you know, I can say that if I appreciated it as much, or appreciated life as much as I would like, I wouldn't be in a lot of the positions that I'm in, and I wouldn't feel how I feel a lot of the time, right? And I know that some of it is mental, right? You can't control it. The mental health aspect, right, is one thing, but outside of that realm, there's still a lot that you can control. You know, if I'm trying to lose weight and I appreciate myself and my health, I don't have to eat that.
Yeah,
I can eat this, but I'm still choosing to eat that. You know, if I appreciate myself and I appreciate the opportunities to create something or do something, I can make that time. I can get up. I can say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. You know, but I don't. You know, you look at people and they always complain. You know, oh well, you know, I don't want to fucking, you know, we're talking about working out. I don't want to work out. It's too hard. It's too difficult. There's a motherfucker with no legs or one arm that's out there crushing it. You got a full working body and you can't put in 20 minutes, you know? Oh, I don't want, you know, like you said, you wrote a book that's doing phenomenal, right? So many people want to write. They can't sit down and do 100 words a day, whatever it is, you know, some minimum. Do you really appreciate the opportunities that you have? Do you really appreciate the things that you live through on a day-to-day basis? I
think we get into this bubble, man, of kind of self, you know, just these pressures. And we, because we hadn't identified what it is we actually want, then when I get up and go to the job, or get up and do this and get up and do that, and because I'm not operating in what I really want to do, I'm going to always feel like, you know, why am I here? What am I doing this for? You know what I'm saying? There's no fulfillment there. And I believe when there is no fulfillment, then you do begin to take things for granted, right? You do begin to look at situations and be like, oh man, I hate this. I don't want to do this, you know, because there's nothing fulfilling there. And I mean, you mentioned about, you know, it taking a big event for you to cause to do something and then that those moments not lasting. Well, I think the difference is one of the things that I think we have to see it as is an opportunity to make an investment.
Right.
Can you make an investment in that, take that energy and then invest it in something that's going to grow, is what I'm saying. Right. So is there an opportunity for you to take whatever this change is that's being forced on you through the death of a loved one, through the losing of something, whatever it is? Can you channel that not into just this moment, but channel it into a project that'll then take wings and fly? Channel it into, just like you get a lump sum amount of money, right? Eventually, if you just leave it in the bank and you are taking a little bit of it, it's going to decrease. But if you take it and you invest it in something, now it has an opportunity to continue to grow, even though you're still using it. Right. And so what is it that we can channel that energy, channel that moment into? And it's going to be different for everybody. What is it that's something you can then push that into? It may be working out. It may be because now you've just gone crazy about fitness, right? Because your parents, they just weren't healthy. And so you refuse to live that life now. And so if you just take that mind change and say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to change my diet. That's one thing. But then what if you take it and you put that into educating somebody else about being better or doing this or doing that? Now there's some response to that negative thing that then creates a positive response on this end, and is an investment that now can grow and develop and move forward.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's just getting people to accept that mind frame, accept that mental state, if you will. And I guess that's the hard thing. But even on the most minuscule level, though, I think that, and I mean, not saying that people don't, but there's a lot to. You look at people that don't have. I think, God, this is hard, because I see a lot of people, right? And then again, like we've talked about it, and I've talked about it in the podcast before, like my happiest times were when I had the least, right? And you look at a lot of these countries that don't have shit, and they're so happy to just have the company of others to be able to share a plate of white rice or whatever the fuck it is, and they're happy and they're living whatever. And I look around here and I see so many people that are just not there. They have things and they're just looking to whatever that next thing is, right?
Yep.
You have a nice car, but you want the new year. You have the nice phone, but you want the new model. You have the house, but now you just need to upgrade because you feel like it's not right? Like, I want wood floors, and I need a granite countertop, and I need a undermount sink, because you don't need it.
Yeah.
There's people that are out there that are washing dishes in the river. You don't need it, and they're just not appreciative of what is there. But at one point, there was a small amount of time where they were. The first time you buy your first house, right? So there's a joy in that. But then it gets, I want to change this, I want to change that, right? The first time that accomplish something, whatever it may be. But then we quickly lose that appreciation, and we don't hold on to those things. And I don't know why, something hell as simple as getting out of bed, just waking up and getting out of bed. It's like how people just dread that. Like, that just boggles my mind. There's like, ugh.
There's nothing to look forward to. If you wake up with the ugh, then there's nothing in the day to look forward to.
Sounds like my day every day. Just like, ugh.
And then your day follows the ugh.
Here we go.
The day follows that.
Oh shit. Why? No, but
is that ungrateful though?
Yeah.
That's ungrateful.
That's ungrateful, right? Because like I said, there's so many people that aren't waking up.
Yeah, I got you.
There's some people out that are alive right now that are paralyzed from the neck down and wish that they had some back pain.
Right.
Like you over here complaining about a crooked neck, they can't even fucking move.
So devil's advocate, right? Because people say, well, that's not me. I get it. Yeah. And they're a lot of people aren't necessarily comparing. They don't have that bone, right? To say, okay, my life really isn't that bad. What is the catalyst? Do you know what is the jump off point that causes you to reflect? Is there anything that does that?
If we figure that out, I think that the world would be a better place, right?
We should bottle it, huh?
We should bottle it and sell it, because generally speaking, it always usually has to do with a loss. It always has to do with something, like, right? Like you talk about the people that have, they have all of this stuff and they have to buy the finest everything, and look at me and this is what I have, and then their fucking house burns down.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're like, you know what? I really didn't need all that. Something like that or whatever. Oh, well, we can downsize or we can do whatever. Some people jump right back into that, right? But those are people that they don't know how to reflect, and they don't have a true representation of self, right? Because at some point, I think that everybody that's out there needs something. They need something, and they're doing whatever they're doing. There's a reason behind it, right? And what I mean by that, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? So you can have, at the most basic of levels, right? You can say, like, we'll use a celebrity, right? You can have a celebrity, someone that wants to become a celebrity, become an influencer, become a whatever it is, and get all this fucking money, right? There's those people that want to become that, because they were picked on as a kid, or they didn't get the attention they needed. Now they just seek everybody's attention, right? And they want that. And so then they achieve that. And really, you see them out there and they're doing this and they're doing that, and it seems like they're happy. They're really not happy, but they don't realize also the only reason why they're doing that is because they're seeking the attention, because they never got validation at some point in their life, and now they're trying to whatever, right? And then you have the people, celebrities on the same backside of that, oh, I want to get out of here, right? Because I want to get this money so I can make a difference in my community or for my family, right? But even that was spawned on by, I didn't have, and now I want to be able to provide, or I didn't have because this was a really bad area, and now I want to be able to come back and help this area be a better place or better environment, whatever, right? Like ultimately, there's always a reason behind something. Some people are just better at looking back and saying, okay, well, this is why I am doing this. But there's so many people that just don't. They have feelings, or they have wants, or they have needs, and they can't truly justify them, or they think that they know the reason, but it's a false reason that they created to justify why they're acting the way that they act. You know, and I don't know, like I don't know how to. I mean, hell, we make these episodes, and maybe, you know, the hope is that one person gets something from it, right, and they hear the words that relate to them, that clicks and spawns that change, right?
Right.
And they can see, oh, fuck, I'm doing that, or whatever the situation is. But it's very hard to have that, because nobody wants to identify flaws in themselves. Nobody wants to say, I'm fucked up. It's very hard to be like, I'm fucked up.
To admit that is not the easiest thing. To say I'm the problem is a problem. It's hard. It's hard for me to say I know I'm a problem. And that's very hard. Right. It's very hard, especially to admit to somebody, but for yourself too, because you're always, I don't know, right? Like, it's like you put on something. You put on some clothes, and you think you look good, but you look like shit. And then your friends or your family or whatever don't tell you look like shit, because you're feeling yourself, right? But that's your viewpoint, right? Like you can't look at yourself and be like, damn, man, I'm not doing it, right? You know, it's just always hard just to look at yourself and say this isn't right, or look at yourself and say, you know, I need to be better here. Like, you usually have to be forced or have your back against a wall, you know? I mean, that's the reason why they have rehabs, interventions, you know, whatever, because you don't want to acknowledge, or even if you see it, you won't acknowledge it, and you think that you can steer yourself out. Yeah, that you got yourself here, you can get yourself out. Yeah, and that's generally not the case. Not the case at all. I mean, man, there's a lot of times I think we feel like we know it all, right? And then we can create whatever we need to create to fix whatever we need to fix. And it's sometimes it's just going down further into that rabbit hole where, you know, it's even less and less of what was necessary to help us in the next stage, man. It's definitely a mind thing that we have to be cognizant of, right? I think it's important to surround yourself with people who are going to challenge you to look at you, right? Because if all you have around you are people who are always, oh, you look great, oh, this is awesome, oh, this is great, oh, this is beautiful, and they never challenge you to do anything else, then you only live at that expectation. Yeah, no, right? For sure. Because then when you reach, it's like children, when they reach, when they hear something negative, now they fall apart because they never heard it. You know, they have never heard, you know, hey, you need to work on this. Yeah. Or, hey, this is okay for you to have somebody who doesn't agree with you, you know, and you reconsider your thought. That's okay. You know, and sometimes we get into this selfish mode where it's all about me. It's all about everything that I have going on. One of the things that has really, that that triggers me and it humbles me, right? Is just I'm driving sometimes and I don't recognize it all the time, but it's in those moments where I do, where I'm like, okay. And it's simply driving by and seeing a tent under the bridge. Cause I don't recognize it all the time. And I see the guys there and I always wonder, why you got a dog? You know what I'm saying? It's always, you getting money for you. Why you have a dog? Right? But at the end of it, I'm like, sometimes it triggers something in me that says, you know what? You should be grateful for your ability to stop at this light. You know, with gas being $4 and whatever a gallon, and still be able to fill up your vehicle, do what you need to do, and not feel like your whole life is about to crumble, right?
Yeah.
We take that, I believe, those moments definitely for granted.
No, we do, you know, the fact, I think because people just assume that, you know, you get in that circle, or you have the circle of friends that are all doing the same thing, and it's hard for you to look outside of that bubble because just everybody around you is doing it, and it's just what everybody's doing. But, you know, at the same time, everybody can't go to the pump and pay $20,
right.
$20 a gallon.
Yeah.
You know, everybody can't do it, you know, and, you know, that's another, it's interesting when I look and I go to the gas station. It's a perfect example. You know, I go to the gas station and I look down the row, because you have a trillion pumps here. It's hard for people to understand in Texas. Gas stations are big, right?
Yeah,
other places it's like two pumps. We got two pumps. You know, you got 25 pumps, 30 pumps, and I'm just looking down, and you see so many different personalities, so many different walks of life, so many different people. You know, like I by my house where I go now, like you see, no matter what time, if you go there at this time, you're gonna see all the landscapers there.
Yeah, I got you.
Filling up on one, right? And they're all just scraping together change to, you know, buy a breakfast taco and get some water. And they're tired, they're not happy, they're doing whatever, but this is what they're gonna do to get through their day. And then you see, you know, the guy that's got all the money, that's able to fucking fill the tank. And it ain't nothing to him. He's in there on his iPhone waiting for the thing to stop. And then you see the mom, you know, that's trying to get the kids to work, you know, and you see the person that's just like, hey, can I get 38 cents on, you know, so I'm just trying to make it.
Right.
And you see it all as you look down, and there's so many different walks of life there. And then you just look at them and nobody's really smiling, right?
Yeah.
No, there's no, hey, I'm here. I'm appreciative of being here.
Yeah.
I'm going to make the best of what I got. It's always just like, God, I'm just trying to make it. God, I just got to get to my business meeting.
You know what? This is crazy, because you're literally seeing, the problem I have is I'm literally seeing my money, like, you know, I'm literally watching it, like, go out of my account, like watching it, right?
Yeah.
And you're seeing that thing go up, and you're not getting as much as what you used to get for the same amount, right?
Yeah.
Not even getting half of what you used to get, right? And so you realize, I am really being raked over the coals here, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so I can see how that can. One of the things that even in that, right? It was a friend of mine that had posted, and they had gone to the gas pump, right? And at the gas, because you know you pump yours, and then the number's still there.
Yeah.
That number was like $1 and some change. Whoever only had $1 and some change to put in the gas tank. And I've been that guy where I had 2 or 3 bank accounts, and I had a credit card, and I had to try all of them cards to get $5 or $6 worth of gas, right?
Yeah.
Because it would take what was left in the account, right? You know, so okay, let me do this one, and now I get the $2.15 that were on there is gonna stop.
Yeah.
Right. And the pump hadn't even started at the $2.15 now, right? The money's gone, but you hadn't even gotten any gas at this point.
Yeah.
And man, I've been there, but to go back and remember it is not my normal thing, right? I take for granted that I can just go and drop it in, click it, you know,
Yep.
focus on something else,
Do
and
whatever you're
not
doing.
necessarily sit there and watch it. But I've been there. Okay, I can only put in. I've been there before.
Yeah. Oh shit. You and me both. I mean, I've been friends scraping together $2 to get gas. There's a point where I had a bank. I'm not gonna say who they were, but as long as you didn't overdraft more than $15, they weren't gonna charge you.
Yeah.
So I'll take that bitch up to
You
14,
add that 15 into your.
$14.99.
This is money that I have, right? I add that overdraft $15
Yeah.
into the money that I have.
So I could get gas, so I
Yeah.
could continue working on and continue making it, you know. And that's the thing, and it's times like that that make me feel unappreciative in a lot of ways, because I was on that side of the fence,
You lived it.
and I said, fuck, if I ever get out of this, right? If I ever get out of this, I'm gonna be so grateful. And I got out of it, and now I just pump, walk off, do whatever. I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do this. And I should be like, I can fill my motherfucking tank. I should be happy about that.
So what keeps us from doing that?
I mean, we're just a bunch of ungrateful bitches. That's what it boils down to. We're a bunch of ungrateful assholes who can't fucking look back at where they came from.
There's
right?
some entitlement there, right?
Right, there is entitlement, but that's what
Yeah.
they say. Like you have to know where you came from, right? You have to remember where you came from. Right? Don't lose yourself or in that process, because, you know, I mean, and that's gonna be harder for people that were born with money, that still have money,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
But
That's not the majority of us.
It's not the
right?
majority of us. There's a lot of us that were doing a hell of a lot worse, or came from a worse situation. And like, yeah, just because you're not where you want to be today does not mean that you're unsuccessful. Like, you should be appreciative of where you are. Now, if you haven't moved at all from your say over the course of time, well, then you need to rethink. That's when you need to have the hard conversation with yourself and say,
Right.
hey, what am I doing wrong, or what can I change? But at the same time, like, if you've improved year over year, you improve, you know, that's something to be appreciative of, you know. And I find myself not appreciating as much as I should. And, you know, like we talked about before, like, I go through cycles where I'll go and burn through everything in my house.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of that is to, you know, reset myself. Then think about, you know, there was a time when the only thing that I could afford to buy was a can of sardines and a can of beans, and that was my dinner.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
not at the same day. That was two dinners.
Right.
A can of sardines was
yeah.
one, and the next day was a can of beans for the other.
Right.
So who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I to sit here and be like, man, I don't really want that tonight.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up.
I mean,
dude.
so you really, honestly, that conversation, and I'll give you a little more, because every year Shepard says that, or generally, right, towards the end of the year, whatever's left in the house, right, the pantry, the refrigerator, the canned goods, whatever it is, instead of going buy more things, he finishes everything that's there, right, cleans the rest of that out. And so you're left with this surplus that you always have, right? That you assume that will always be there. You're forced to deal with that crap you went and bought that you felt like, I'm okay. I don't.
Yeah.
And you left it in there because I didn't have to eat it, right? But now, I mean, it really did bless me, man. It really did kind of shift my thought process when you said that, because, yeah. And it made me look at my own household. It made me, I cook quite a bit. And we waste so much food. You know, it sits, you know, I'll cook it. We may eat it today, and then we may eat it tomorrow. And then it sits in the refrigerator. And then now at the end of the week, I'm throwing away so much food, right? That went wasted. And so that really triggered something in me, man. And I told the wife, I said, hey, we waste so much food in here, right? And what is it that we're going to do differently? Do we not need to cook as much of it? Whatever it is, we need to do something differently, because we're just throwing stuff away. And there are plenty of people who don't have that luxury, right? And so we were being ungrateful, in those things is not recognizing that some people would love to have these leftovers, right? And the fact that we shun them because I'm not really big on leftovers.
Yep. I can't eat it twice.
Can't eat it twice.
Can't eat it twice.
Once I eat it the first time, I'm good. And man, what is that? What life is that we're leading where you have we're not that far from a third world country. Let's just be clear, right?
We're really not.
We're only another 6 months away from it.
At this rate,
right? If the boats don't show up, then we're screwed.
We are fucked.
Okay, so let's not. The fact that we feel like we have it and can do that is arrogant, right? That's that arrogance that comes in. But there is something that we have to do differently if we planning to be better and our children be better. We do have to consider those things, man, because we're just wasteful.
No, it's rough. I remember there's even a time, man, where like I had like I'm reserving trash bags, like you have to maximize the space I could throw away in a trash bag, right? Just because I couldn't afford more trash bags. It just wasn't in the budget. So you only got a box. You say, I got to stretch these motherfuckers out.
Right.
Everything goes in there. Now you put, I put a chicken wrapper in. Let me just throw that out because I don't want my house to stink.
Yeah, right.
Like, no, man, you had to pack that bitch out, lift it up, shake the can down, smash it if you can, because I can't. But I think about those times like I legitimately couldn't afford trash bags.
Man, I remember it was a summer and it was 3 guys and we were staying together in college, right? So we weren't in college, but it was in summer school. So we weren't in summer school, but we stayed in the area, right? And so we were staying in the trailer and neither one of us had jobs, which was dumb, right? Because why don't you have a job? Some of this was self-inflicted. Okay, I give you that, right? But I remember we went to the store and we bought a pack of ground meat, right? And we took that ground meat and we made burgers out of it the first day. And then we had a couple burgers left. And then we took that burger meat and we crushed it up and we added it to some pasta and we had some macaroni, right? Like some ghetto hamburger helper, right?
There you go.
Then we took that and because we had that left, and I forgot what we did with that and the noodles, right? It was one more thing we had. We had like 3 meals out of that 1 pack of hamburger meat. But that talks about the creativity that you come up with. That talks about the realizing that we can't waste any of this, right? And we were grateful at the end of those 3 days that, man, we were able to stretch out.
Yeah.
We can laugh about it now, right? We can stretch out 3 meals out of that one thing. But today, you know what I'm saying? After this, okay, it's gone.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
And that's where, I don't know, I guess, like I said, to be able to spawn that in people and get them to realize, even if they listen to us and listen to the stories, like they'll listen to stories, but oh yeah, that's crazy. And then as they throw away their fucking, as they throw away whatever,
the half-eaten whatever.
Yeah, and it's not a matter of you have to force yourself to do something like oh well, I'm supposed to stop eating when I'm full. Okay, well yeah, stop eating when you're full. Put that shit in a Tupperware and heat it back up. Yeah, you don't just throw it away or just leave it because you don't want it. But that's with just not just food. It's with everything in life. There's so many things out there that
could be heated back up and reused.
Exactly. There's a lot of things in life that could be heated back up and reused, right?
Yeah.
And we just don't appreciate, the little our interactions.
Is that what is it? Is that cultural? Not cultural, but is that United States?
I feel like it. I feel we are we waste a lot, right?
Yeah,
but the thing is that I feel, and I'm not an economist or whoever studies the world, whatever, right? So some countries are a lot better than others. It's the countries that are usually hurting the most. They have to maximize, what it is that they have, and they have to understand, right? Like having meat is not something that everybody can have all the time.
Right.
This, that, and the other, and that's one thing. But I feel like it's starting to spread, right? As we go and we enter in other countries, and we do this, we do that. You look at China's doing, well, I mean, from the outside perspective, they're doing very well, right? If they don't want to give us shit, we're fucked, right? But, even then, like, there's a lot of excess over there, or if you go to some of these smaller countries where people like to vacation, right? When you vacation, all inclusive, there's excess, and it's starting to spread. I feel like it's starting to spread.
The thing is there's a crazy dichotomy though, because we took a trip to the Dominican Republic, right? And we've been a couple times. We enjoyed, the beaches are beautiful.
Yeah.
You get into the resort, you're in the resort. Driving up to the resort is the worst amount of poverty you've probably ever seen in your life, right?
Yeah.
And you go into these resorts and everything's a buffet and everything is all you can eat and all day, right? Where is that food? And you see these plates stacked up with a half-eaten that or half, and we're back to food, but the idea of it, that you're in paradise, but walk right, not even 20 feet outside, and you'll be in poverty. So from paradise to poverty is less than 20 feet from each other, right?
Yeah.
And that, I had a realization in that the last time we were there, and I was like, man, here they're working, so some of the people can eat, some of the people stay on the resort, but the mass majority of the people who are outside these gates would love to even experience one of the meals that we're eating in here, right? One buffet,
just
breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Pick one.
Yeah.
Right? And here we have advanced to all three. We can go to this special restaurant at night that is going to have a beautiful cuisine, and it's all inclusive, right?
Yeah.
But when we talk about this all inclusive life that is on the outside of these gates, man, it was something. It's humbling. It's completely humbling.
And you see that a lot. You see it Dominican, you see it in Puerto Rico, you see it in Mexico, you see it in Jamaica, you see it. I mean, there's a lot of places that are like that, I don't know. We keep talking about food because I think food is the biggest.
It's one of the biggest. It's obvious.
And it's very obvious.
It's obvious.
It's easier to point out because everybody's been there. What fucking drives me nuts? What drives me nuts is when I fucking see like people out with their kids, and their kids are telling them what they are gonna eat and what they're not gonna eat. That gets me so hot, right? Because like, first of all, little motherfucker, you ain't got nobody's job, you ain't got no saying nothing, right? And you're gonna tell me you want a steak? Right? Like, who the fuck are you? You gonna eat this? We
created that.
You gonna eat this grilled cheese and shut the fuck up is what you gonna eat.
We've created that. Where if it's not Wagyu beef, then then I don't want it. I don't want it. And kids are like, where's the beef? Right?
Yeah. And that drives me nuts, man, because there's so many kids out there, right? That again, they may have a bowl of white rice for fucking dinner.
The crazy thing is you say that, right? And so this become a wasted food segment,
food waste,
right? Ungrateful food wasting segment. But my son has never had potted meat or Vienna sausage. But I've had plenty of it.
Look,
I've had, like you said, the sardines, I couldn't stand them. And stuff like that, man. That I've had all of that stuff just because. Hey, this is what we got.
It is what it is. This is what you have. Look, that's what you need to do one night is be like, look.
We had to get the cornflakes because the Frosted Flakes cost more. You better add some sugar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you had that layer of sludge in the bottom of it.
That was my favorite.
The layer of sludge in the bottom of your milk.
That was the best part of the meal right there. Yeah, that shit, the paste.
Rice Krispies.
At the bottom.
It wasn't even rice. It was called crisp rice.
Yeah.
It wasn't Rice Krispies. Because we had to get the off-name brand.
Corn puffs and all this other stuff, the malto meals and the fucking all the bullshit. That's what you need to do. You need to take go home and say, one night a week, we're gonna have, let me show you what I had for dinner growing up. There you go.
Some potted meat.
Here's your potted meat.
And crackers.
And here's your
man.
saltine crackers.
I just remember that.
See what he said.
Oh, it wasn't even Ritz. It was just, saltines.
Knock off saltine crackers. And see what he said. I'm curious to see what he said.
He's going to be pissed off at me.
Look, but he's going to appreciate.
Man.
He'll learn to appreciate but there's so many people, right? There's a reason why they're still being produced and they're still existing.
Spam, all of that. Even though they're trying to get fancy now. But
I love spam, man. I love me some spam. But yeah, right. They exist because that's what people have. I mean, people are still existing off it. The fact that they still exist is an issue for me.
Yeah.
Right.
That the necessity.
Yeah. That they have to have it. And, it's not.
None of it has a nutritional value.
I mean, it's
no nutritional value.
It's got something. I don't know what it is, but it's got something. It sustains life barely, right? And that's the thing is like nobody. I won't say nobody. There's very few people that are buying Vienna sausages and potted meat just because they like Vienna sausages.
Because they love it, right? Oh man,
and potted meat. I haven't had really anybody be like, damn, I mean, I do love spam, but like no one was like, man, I wish I had some Vienna sausages right now.
Right, beans. You cut a hot dog up in some beans, right? I mean, it's those things, man. That I just remember, right? Yeah. Butter and rice.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But then, right? So you move off of that, and you go to where you are right now, and that's the thing that makes me feel bad, right? Because then I'm like, okay, I go off of that, and if I make food or I go out and I'm like, this shit don't taste really good. I feel bad. Like you should be allowed, but I still like, and that's why I guess I'm not a picky eater. Like there's stuff that I don't like because of just past traumas, but I'll be damned. Like if it's on my plate, I'm going to eat it. Like I'm not going to complain.
It might not be,
but I feel good about myself for that though, right? Because people be like, oh, if you don't like it, don't eat it. Like, no, fuck that. Like, if this was the only thing that I had,
I would eat it all.
I would eat it all.
Right.
If this would have been put in front of me when I was over there struggling to put, $1.50 in the tank,
you'd have licked the plate.
Oh shit! Yeah, right. I'd have tried to eat the plate too, right? And that's the thing. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't like it. Like I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be appreciative that I have it because it don't take much. Like you said, I could very easily tomorrow not even have this.
Yep.
And then what? And now I'm starving my ass off.
Right. Wishing that you had it.
Wishing that I had it.
Yep.
And that's so for me. I have to be more appreciative, and I have to look at things from a perspective of that way. And say, thank you to myself. For putting in the work or
so I think we acknowledge the where we've come from. I think we have to do that, right? But in acknowledging that, be grateful that we've actually come from that, right? Because I think it is crazy to throw that stuff on the back burner as if you never experienced it and then live a life like, I've always been here, right? That is an arrogant response to something that could easily turn in a dime. Man, what do we do?
What do we do? Be appreciative.
What do we do
for what you got?
How we do that?
And eat all your goddamn food. And tell your kids they get mac and cheese and beanie weenies for the next week.
So let's start. Okay, so this became a food segment. Let's start with cleaning our plates and eating the leftovers.
And
let's try that.
Being appreciative of what we got.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck. I mean, let's leave it there, man. This shit flew by. I wouldn't even realize.
I know.
It. We was so in everything. Everybody's probably like, "Oh shit!" But yeah. Let's start there. I like it.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Hopefully you enjoyed the show. We appreciate you listening for sure. But we need your help.
Yeah, we need your help. We need you to like, comment, and subscribe. so that we can continue to make great content for you guys.
Yeah. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe.
And it's right here on the screen. Everything you need.
Right there. Thank you so much, guys, for listening.
All right, take care.